Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. In this thing called life, everything don't go the way it should. I wish it wasn't like that. I wish every day could be good. Now you can act like you don't have problems, but we all know that you do. And no matter what's going on, we don't know what it's like in your shoes. So if you're gonna judge me, judge righteous. I really do wanna be free. Judge righteous. I wish that you could see, judge righteous, all that I'm trying to be. Judge righteous. Please, judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment.
Welcome to the Judge Righteous Show. This is Jacob Prater. I am with my fellas, Denzel Tubbs, Myron Boyd, Walt Berger, Zion Brooks, and Elijah McCutcheon. We are back for episode 3, and we want to talk to you about something even more controversial. A lot of you guys have been, kind of upset about us, about the last video that we posted. But it's okay. We're talking about something even more. Let's take a look at this video.
Prater, dare I say that before we take anything away, we'll add to it. But go ahead. It's all right.
That's right. Let's go to this video, and we'll be right back.
I'm okay because I never told you I was perfect. I never put down nobody. I got my own flaws and my own faults, but I didn't do that. That ain't the kind of stuff you forget. Come here. I'll give you time. This girl right here. Leather and lace. Classy and still. Steady in a storm. This girl right here.
That was that. Everybody's talking about it. Bishop T.D. Jakes, there was a scandal that's going around. Everybody is talking about this, and we wanted to touch it. Go ahead, Kutch.
Listen, I just want to give our production team a quick shout out because they didn't use the same clip that everyone is using. Because let's start off the conversation there. I think that's the really important thing about this whole video that he gave. This was a Christmas Eve service. He gave an excellent sermon, and I think was unfortunately overshadowed by this last moment. But what he said there was very imperative and very different from the situation that he's being compared to. Let's just put it out there. So I think the clip that they showed, which was, if you want me to address it, go ahead and log off. That's not even giving us the full story of what exactly he said on that Sunday. This clip only highlights, just touches it, but it does offer that different perspective of like, listen, there's a lot of things that I done messed up and did, but I didn't do that. And he was very clear about it. And he made it very, very obvious to the viewer of what he was talking about. So I think that's a good place to start right there.
And may I cut to the chase in my book, Coach, because I've said it to you guys privately, but I'll say it on here and I'm not ashamed. We've had, of course, a plethora of preachers and televangelists that have been accused of scandal. Some have been proven and otherwise. But I'm always very vigilant of those who beat around the bush and give analogies and give little statements that do not give us a clear answer. I mean, just one, out of spiritual discernment, and then two, out of this blatant wisdom, the man told us, oh, I'm not perfect, Let's make no mistake about it. I have made some mistakes, but that I didn't do. Now it's been said.
And hold on.
Previous scandals has been said. I've got 5 smooth stones, but I'm not throwing none of them. What does that tell us? I need you to say whether you did.
But hold on. Here's the thing. Later on in that same clip, he says, "I'm old. If you really think my knees are letting me bend down like that, you gotta know." He's like, use common sense. I think that's the thing for me. He said, "Do you?" He was like, some scandals, some accusations. He was like, "I just wish y'all would use common sense." That man got old knees. I'm just saying. He said it, and I was like, I'm not buying it. But even then, when you say it, it's like, you're right, because you did just have knee surgery, so you can't really, you know what I'm saying, really operate. It's like you used to. But I'll let y'all go ahead. That's my sense.
Go ahead, Myra.
But the thing is, the fact that we got to this point, the fact that he even had to come out and make a statement, and the fact that this blew up so big off of somebody who took some pictures of him at a Diddy party and made voiceovers. There was no facts, no proof, just pictures of him at a party, and we've somehow ran into all of this hoopla where we had to do this
from someone who has yet not released that content
and not even shown their face, nothing.
Right.
If I may, I think this is the dangerous thing of being in ministry, especially as high up as he is, and being connected to as many celebrities as he is. I think a lot of the scandal or the controversy, whether good, bad, or indifferent, right, is that a lot of times, especially with people such as Bishop Jakes, we see a lot of the trouble being centered around the celebrities he's connected to. Shall we go back 10, 12 years ago, when Tyler Perry gave him $1 million and proceeded to lay hands on him, and it was a whole moment, right? Some people in the church thought it was crazy. You know, some people in the church was like, Ibaba Shando, bless God, impartation. And it's just like, for me, I'm just like, this has to be, you have to like assess like how major you are, and you can't, and even to that point, no, I'm not a pastor, but even to that point, I would even say, and you got to be careful where you go, and you can't go everywhere.
I mean, dare I say that I pull on our forefathers in that we understand, although, the man is just extremely big in the kingdom, big in the culture, but we understand why some of those fathers told you to stay away from being so effective, so relevant to the masses like that. But hey,
I'll add on. Some things don't need to be public.
Facts.
Because I think back to some of the.
Well, I think.
Yeah, go ahead. Whoever.
Well, I was gonna say. I think the thing is. Go ahead, Walt. Go ahead.
Okay, so if you read your Bible at any point, you will see that Jesus was persecuted for having dinner with publicans and hanging out with prostitutes.
Yeah,
things. And what I will say, and I know Tubbs is an advocate for the old church, and what I will say is one thing I feel like the old church did. They always worried about what things look like. That's why they want you to wear a suit because that you look distinguished, you look holy, you look this or you look that. You know what I'm saying? But in the insides or whatever, your heart is far from it. So my whole thing is, even though y'all say, well, Bishop Jakes, you know what I'm saying, he shouldn't have been hanging out. But my whole thing is, someone at the level of Sean Diddy Combs, he's not going to Reverend Watermelon's church, the storefront church, to get counsel. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to, if I'm going to talk to somebody about a certain situation, they have to have some level of, they have to be at some level. You know what I'm saying? Notoriety or even a level of success. You know what I'm saying? Like my whole thing is, listen, when I look at that picture, I don't see now, any type of like, you know what I'm saying? That's like a dad and a son, or thank you for mentoring me. Thank you for, because my whole thing at the end of the day, this man, he went through a lot. Is he dealing with a lot of stuff? Did he into a lot of stuff? He probably is. So why would he not reach out to the highest level person? Like, yo, I need to talk.
However,
well,
and I know y'all got to go, Myron. I'm sorry, but however,
No,
my
go
only
ahead.
pushback to that is, I totally agree. But does Jakes really have to go? And forgive me for the disrespect for those who may consider though, but Bishop Jakes, does Bishop Jakes really have to go to his parties in order to make that impact?
I mean, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Those pictures, this is daytime in those pictures. All the shenanigans that happen at Diddy's party happen at night. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So like
hold on.
Listen, I know for a fact I've been invited to my cousin's parties and they there doing all manners of evil, but they do it after I leave. You know what I'm saying? I come in the middle in the daytime. Hey y'all, love you, God bless you, cousin. I love you, man. Thank you. Happy birthday, congratulations, or whatever. I'm gone.
And I share with that. But I mean, but as much as we are anointed, saved, men of God, and all stuff, one, we're not Jakes. Two, Jakes is not Diddy's cousin.
And I was gonna say, you have to at that level. There's a level. There's not a cookie cutter answer, but you have to manage your level of influence, knowing who you are, and knowing even that the possibility of things like that coming. If you're Bishop T.D. Jakes, which he probably wants to talk to somebody like Bishop T.D. Jakes, you can't invite him to your house.
Well, okay,
I want to ask the room just really, really quick. I want to go around and just ask the room individually, because I think Tubbs already gave his answer, but I want to just ask individually. Do you guys think he did it? We could start with Tubbs just so he can be clear. I'll go first. Well, let me just go first. I'll say no. I don't believe he did it.
No, I absolutely don't. I pray my discernment is usually my discernment is pretty accurate, and I don't discern that. I discern that he did not do it. I believe he was telling the truth. Two, I believe he really does hold the pulpit in such high regard as he claims. And then three, you can tell by the way his wife stood by him and the way he stood by his wife and admonished his wife that he really was that way. And of course, again, no man is perfect, but I just don't believe he did that, as he stated.
What do you think?
No, I don't believe he did it either. I don't. Bishop's too intelligent of a man to allow himself, even if he had a affection for certain things, he wouldn't be stupid enough to run and be around those that could expose him when hot water came around. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, he's too intelligent, highly intelligent of a man to have anything done like that. So my answer is no, I don't believe he did.
Myron, what do you think, sir?
I don't believe that he did, and I think that just calling a spade, people got to be careful about making conclusive decisions when we don't have legitimate facts and evidence. So at this point, you're innocent until proven guilty. So for me, it's a no.
Okay.
And that's a whole other episode before they go. That's a whole other episode that we need to have, is the fact that the church, the kingdom, is so horrible at that to where everything is guilty until proven innocent.
Proven innocent, right? And I will say this: it's hard for us to gauge people's relationships. Right? You can't gauge somebody's relationship. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If he has a relationship with him, he has a relationship with him. You can't. Right. Oh well, because you're a bishop, you shouldn't be hanging out with him. I have a relationship with him.
Right.
Yep. So
and we and I think, Zion, just one second. And I think too, a lot of times we just keep Bishop Jakes as Bishop Jakes. He's way more than that. He's a businessman. Right. He's an executive director for movies. He's connected to so many people. He's not just a pastor. So I think a lot of times we keep him there. But go ahead, Zion.
I don't believe that he did. As it's already been stated in the room, he is just way too much of a not scratch pastor, scratch spiritual being. He's way too much of a businessman for him to even let that narrative be out like that. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like, hey, and I think
let me say this, Zion. I agree with you. But the businessman don't stick with me because there's been so many great businessmen that are caught up in scandal. Just like even Bill Cosby. He was a great businessman and got caught up, So I get it. I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, I even to Walt's narrative, even about the father-son aspect, I think the unfortunate thing about society is that they've created this narrative that two grown men cannot show affection and be homosexuals or be gay or be, so for me, my thing is like, I do hear, like, on one hand, yes, I say, hey, just be careful where you go. But on the other hand, to Walt's point, I'm like, hey, we don't know how long Diddy and Jake's, how close they are not.
That's
My
right.
thing is at the end of the day, we will do whatever for support. If one of, like, we all 6 of us in here are bros. Like, at the end of the day, if Tubbs says, hey bro, I'm hosting this party, man, you should come out, I'm there. Now, whatever happens when I go, when I leave, hey, that's on Tubbs. My thing is, though, is it never was alleged how long he was at the party or how long he was there, and I think that's the unfortunate part about social media and society. They see one picture and be like, oh, he was up in there doing drugs with the rest of them. Like, okay, bro, and that's not, that doesn't always have to be the case. So for me, so for have you ever been swallowed up? No, so for me, my thing is, though, like, all jokes aside, though, I really don't feel like Jake's did it.
Gotcha. Elijah.
All right, let me
This is about to be deep. Go ahead.
All right, so do I personally believe he did it? No. And the reason why, and it's not because I have this idolatry perspective of him. I want that narrative to be kind of destroyed. One thing that I want to be made clear is I don't wish for any of my brothers to fall. Any of the people who are in a place of influence, of spiritual influence, there is a prayer that should be prayed consistently over those in those places.
Agreed. Yeah.
So where we are covering them. And I think, to me, that's what this situation exposed. It exposed that I'm not going to say me, but the Christian community thought so high of Jake's that when this situation came up, instead of being in the prayer response position, we immediately went into defense, or I'm going to now say, I do believe he did that.
That's good.
Our response as brothers and sisters in the kingdom is to respond with prayer, is to respond with talking with the Lord, is to respond to make sure that we are clear in our messaging. And our messaging should be in this moment, because the world, they already have their opinions about us. They already think we're twisted. They already think we're sick. True fact of the matter is, some of us are. That's why we need Jesus. Listen,
that's true.
Let me say this. If, let's just say, and it all comes out and this actually did happen and occur, right? You know what my first step is? Man, let me pray for him. Number one. Number two, I'm now going to be concerned about the next steps in recovery to make sure he gets back to where he was. Because the other piece that I want to point out is, nobody has ever questioned Jake's. Hold on, wait. Let me say this last point. No one has ever questioned Jake's when he restored all those people, when he opened his house to everyone in ministry who's ever had a scandal. They go to Bishop Jake's and they talk to him about it. The fact that some of those same individuals are silent right now, to me, is a red flag. Because if anything, it should be prayers, it should be consideration, it should be conversations about, okay, how exactly do we cover? Not cover up. There's a difference between covering and cover up. Two different things. Well, how exactly do you respond in this situation? That's what I was saying.
Myron, before you jump in, let me just say this really quick. So, Kutch, are you saying you're actually still going to listen and look at him the same way after, if this does come out that he did this?
Let me interject before you answer that, Kutch. I'm sorry. Let me interject because that's what I want to pose the question. It's rhetorical, really. I want to pose the question of, yes, there's cancel culture and all this other stuff, but if he did do it, what will the masses do anyway? What are you gonna do? You're gonna hang
Well,
them outside of Potter's house? Aside
I'm
from
about to say
cancel,
I can only speak for myself. What I'm gonna say is I'm still going to listen to him because you don't understand. Listen, in this and on this side, I've made mistakes.
Right.
And I still wanted people to listen to me. And it's the same blood that you want to plead over yourself is the same blood that he would need if it is true. Considering
That's right.
yourselves. That's what
if he
the book
did
of
it,
Galatians says.
let me say this to everyone who accuses him of possibly doing it. If he did it, that means you need to take down every video of every preacher that has also done scandalous things like this, but we're still anointed enough to minister to you.
That's
every
right.
Christian artist and singer that lives a double life, homosexual lifestyle, or whatever the case may be, but ministers to you in song. All these songwriters that are, I mean,
that's a lot of.
Hold on.
That's
Let
almost
me add this.
everybody.
Let me add this really quickly. Here's my problem really quickly with this situation. Everyone was so quick to say this is why I never listened to Jakes. This is why I'm not going to listen to him. R. Kelly had a video that came out of him publicly peeing on a woman, on a little girl. I'm sorry, and everyone still bumped his song.
Well, Kutch, let me say this.
Well,
I'm just saying. The physical evidence was there. The physical evidence was there. And people still support it.
Mostly all of the people that said that mess don't even go to church. So it's irrelevant.
Well, but that's the point. That's the point. That's the point that even in that, and I agree wholeheartedly. But even in that, the key component in this is his level of influence, his notoriety, and who he is. I understand he has many other facets, but even, let's be honest, even some of his success in other realms of the industry is first because he is Bishop T.D. Jakes. So his influence is the thing that has to, and nobody. That's why I say it's not a cookie cutter answer, because it's hard to say what you would do with that level of influence.
That's true.
The thing here is his level of influence. There's other preachers who have done the same things or worse, and they will never get this level of play. It's his influence. It's his level of influence.
My thing is, number one, I wholeheartedly agree with both Kutch and Walt, and honestly, I agree with the entire room. My thing is, I will say though, I kind of want to dispel. I want to dispel this narrative though that this was just coming from people who don't go to church. Because truth be told, honestly, now this is something I'm gonna say. The world didn't even get their opinion until they saw the churches. Now I'm gonna keep it 100. Because truth be told, truth be told, a lot of the narrative that was dispelled about Bishop Jakes, see, I knew it, and and all of these people who, I mean, let's just call it like a spade. I've seen posts on social media of different people talking about, I used to be under him, and y'all just don't even understand the secrets that he got under his belt, and I used to go to his church, and you don't even understand, what's going on with this and what's going. My thing is at the end of the day, I don't think that the church realizes that half of the view of society on the church has a lot to do with how we view the church. Half the reason why the society won't take us seriously, because we don't. We do.
And I love that, Zion, because possibly this is not even a Jake's issue. Maybe this is a lesson that God is trying to teach the church on how we handle our own, because we've fumbled the ball so many.
Well, that because like Kutch was saying earlier, I believe overall the body of Christ has to do better with restoring your brother. God's given us the ministry of reconciliation. I think that we do a terrible job of restoring people if they mess up or if they fall.
Right. And I wholeheartedly agree. And so like Walt and Tubbs said, my thing is at the end of the day, okay, cool. If he did it, now me listening to his sermon is not me condoning what he did. Let's throw that out there. Number one, I don't have a heaven or a hell to put nobody in. That is not my ministry. I don't have that to do. But at the same time, it's like Walt said, there's a lot of things that I've done that were not alleged. It happened. Like this, let's 100. There's a lot of things that people said I did, and guess what? I did it. Hey,
we had a time last night. We had a time last night.
Trying to tell you,
now.
there's a lot of
we had a time last night. We had a time last night. We had a time last night.
Hey, Zion, it was not. Hey, Zion, it wasn't a legend, Doc.
We had a time last night.
That's right.
We had a time
last night.
Jesus. All right,
but my thing is, at the end of the day, it's like Tubbs said, that doesn't change, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to throw away all of gospel music culture. I'm going to throw away all of the people I see on TVN and the Word Network and all of these other popular Christian platforms, because truth be told, there's a whole lot of stuff that I'm sure happens behind the closed doors. Why? Because we're human. It happens.
And this is the thing too. This is the thing too. Somebody mentioned earlier, like church culture. Church culture today pushes so much personality. It's so personality driven that we. I mean, that's how we get caught up in. That's how we get to that place to where we're not able to restore our brother and sister in Christ, because instead of this being Bishop T.D. Jakes, who is our brother in Christ, this is Bishop T.D. Jakes. He's got all this notoriety, his level of influence, which again, I said earlier, there's a conversation to be had about him maintaining his level of influence and notoriety and stuff like that. But he's still your brother and sister, a brother in Christ. Pray for him.
And the same people who are condemning him for going to Diddy's party are the same people for condemning him to not go to Carlton Pearson's funeral. But it's okay.
Zion, I'll say this: the same people condemning him will still go preach at his church if he asks them Sunday morning. God bless you.
Well, let me say this.
And hold on. Watch this. And we'll show up to Diddy's party if Diddy invited him. That's all right.
Exactly.
Let me say this. Let me say this though really quick. Let's take a look at this video and we'll be right back.
TD Jakes is over there dancing, nodding his head. And like, I'm trying to understand, this is a TD Jakes show. Why on earth is he allowing a man dance like a woman in front of him, and the man is shaking his butt and all that stuff, and TD Jakes is just looking at him and smiling and singing and dancing to Beyonce? How and why? He's taking all those good glances and looks, yo. That's not normal. How can you even allow that as a man of God? First of all, Beyonce.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing?
Hey, wait. I call that guy the TikTok prophet. He talks about everybody. This man.
Hey, but I'm gonna say this. There's so many things though about this. First off, Bishop Jakes had no idea what that man was going to do.
Right.
Second off, this was not aired on his show. Bishop Jakes could have had a problem with it, which is why we watched it from somebody who was filming it on their camera phone in the audience.
Right.
Third, if you look at Bishop Jakes' face, if you look at his face very closely, he was uncomfortable.
He looked uncomfortable. Yep.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say. If you've ever served
what you got to say, Walt? I want to hear what Walt has to say. What you got to say, Walt? Have you ever been swallowed up?
Listen, first off, stupid.
Jesus.
The guy that does the videos. Let me first say this. You can you can't sit here and talk about how you're for holiness or you're for the right things, and you're building your kingdom off being
Tearing people
an
down.
accuser of the
Yeah.
brethren.
Yeah.
The
Gossip.
Bible says that God hates dissension, sowing seeds of dissension among the brethren. He hates it. So the
Yeah.
fact that you sit here like, well, I want to tell you guys what as a man of God you shouldn't have did, bro. As like Myron said, that didn't air on the show. Bishop looked uncomfortable, but also Bishop was trying to make a daytime show, and we had to understand exactly who's watching daytime shows, who's in charge of this stuff, and all that stuff like that. Bishop was trying to infiltrate the industry, and he's trying to get he was trying to make a way for himself. But listen,
This was not his
he didn't know
pulpit.
that man was going to do that. It's not his
This was
pulpit.
not
That's
his
not the church.
Here's my if I add to that, Walt, my thing, Walt and I had a conversation almost a year ago now, and I remember verbatim him saying, I'm so tired of society acting like Christians don't have lives as well.
Wow.
And it was so key for me because I'm like, bruh, because my thing is we wouldn't be pushing this narrative if it was Steve Harvey. Let's keep it 100. We wouldn't be pushing this narrative if it was Oprah Winfrey. We wouldn't be pushing this narrative if it was Ellen. But the fact that he cannot be a Christian who happens to have a daytime.
But that's literally what I was saying, Zion. We only see him as Potter House Jakes. That's
not only only that. Why is it that we always we allow society and people who are outside the kingdom try to tell us how to live being in the kingdom? You tell me, oh, well, you shouldn't have a Nike sweatshirt on or wear a all blacked out White Sox hat because you're a preacher, or you this, or you shouldn't do this. You trying to tell me how to live my life? You don't understand. You don't understand. I like culture. I like, I like dressing nice. I like shoes. I like tennis shoes. I like Jordans. I like, these are the things, but none of that stuff separates me from God. So my whole thing is, if you're on the outside, stay on the outside. Because I don't go to the club on Saturday night like y'all don't even know how to shake it. Y'all don't even know what y'all doing. You don't know how to drink. You don't know how to smoke.
Hold on, Walt. With that, we'll be right back.
His wife's birthday is tomorrow. Happy
I'm more ashamed to defend
it.
I was actually more ashamed of the fact that his stomach was hanging out that shirt like that.
I ain't gonna hold you. That was a garbage fit, Doc. I ain't gonna hold you.
Here's the thing. The problem I have is, why did the DJ play that at the church? That's all it is. That's all the problem.
Wait, here's my problem. Here's my problem. Here's my problem with it. It was for his church people. It wasn't something he put out there for everybody to see. There are certain things that you only do around family. When I'm around my family, I be dancing, cutting it up, having a good time.
We know you be cussing around your family.
Because
I do not. Tell the truth on that night.
Because let me say this though, Kutch. Because while I agree with you, he does know his level of influence. He knows that it's not just for a Potter's house.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna say this though. The problem that I'm having is, regardless of what side you're on, whether you say he should have did it, he shouldn't have did it, you're in between. There's too many people offering rebukes without relationship. If we're gonna go Bible, if you're gonna go with the stuff that you want to be so holy and righteous, if you're offended, go talk to Bishop Jakes. Have any of y'all done that? Have any of you prayed for him? All right.
Nope. Can any of y'all do that? Can you? That's the problem. That's the question.
That's what.
Hey, I feel cool on here.
Hey, that's what stirs their offense is the fact that they know they have no access.
No access.
But and that's my thing.
And I think a lot of and to that point, I think that's a lot of the problem. We love feeling some type of way about people we don't have connection with. But then the moment we have connection with them, now there's a
selective grace. Selective grace.
A lot of us are so disgusting that we carry on the way we do, hoping that it will grant us connection.
Hoping
that it will
thinking that we got the right answer.
Oh my God.
thinking that we have the right answer. Like, oh, he's not in good counsel until he get connected with me.
If I say it loud enough, they'll respond to me. They'll respond to me if I say it loud enough.
Myron just made the statement. It's so selective grace. Like it's so crazy that we will offer grace to, like, okay, let's say one of us on here or all of us on here and blow up, become mega church pastors. Cool, great. Right now, if we wasn't cool, bro, you wrong, and you da. The moment we all close and we brothers and we done been brothers for years, and all of a sudden we want to protect. Go ahead, Walt.
Hold on, listen. Let me say this.
Oh God,
and I'm going to ruffle some feathers today. Let's
do it, Doc.
Ready?
Hey, everybody, get the TikTok clips ready. We've got to go viral again.
Go ahead, get your screen share, get your screen record on. Let's do it.
The problem that I have, I gave my own screen. Good. I gotta tell the kids be quiet. Shh, y'all be quiet. I'm on the internet. The problem with churches in the kingdom is that they have so much envy for pastors of mega churches. And the envy stems from them sowing and working in the kingdom, but not having enough character and enough integrity to maintain a level or a ministry of that level.
Right.
So that they become envious. And then my whole thing is the only way they can deal with it, or they can even like feel good about themselves, is they have to say, oh, well, that person compromised. Oh, that person, he's not what he's not this. Oh, he's not that. But my whole thing is there's just a greatness of somebody's life.
That's right.
Well, they're ignorant to the fact that the reason why they're stifled is God never could trust them character-wise to grow them either. I mean,
because
that is a mouthful.
And
you think about it like this, though. The main ones that say that don't got nothing. That's why they're saying that. Let's be real.
Here's the thing. What we keep forgetting is the fact that we're not going to sit here and act like Jake's wasn't one of them years ago. We're not going to sit here.
Character for God to grow.
Like, bingo. And my thing is, we're not going to sit here and act like Jake, like 25, 30 years ago, Jake's wasn't in the same exact place, growing a storefront, being a good old storefront apostolic preacher out of West Virginia. We're not going to sit here and act like this man has just always had the Potter's house in Dallas. We're not going to sit here and act like when he first started to preach, like, I'm sure I know this dude, like, we're not going to sit here and act like this man has a college degree, because we know he does not. Like, there are so many things that this man has done that God could trust him with. And I think in my own personal life, like, I would ask God, why haven't you blessed me like this? Or why haven't you done this for me? And the reality was, well, bro, because if I gave it to you, I wouldn't trust you with it. You would go and blow this, or you would go and do this.
Yeah, I couldn't trust you with it.
I've been checking your stewardship over that, and you wasn't faithful over that.
You weren't faithful over
that. It reminds me. There was one time a scandal came out about my grandfather, and he got up one Sunday and he addressed it. He said, all these people getting baptized week after week, people joining our church left and right. We got hundreds of people getting baptized all year long. And you think the Lord's going to bless this? And I'm out here fooling around doing this stuff. And my thing is, again, like y'all are just saying, look at what he has. Do you think God's going to bless it, knowing the influence, the level of influence he has? And we contradict ourselves when we go out here. And again, he admitted he wasn't perfect, but we contradict ourselves if we say we believe in God, but God is the one who allows him to have the level of influence he has. But we say he's compromising, and we're the ones that are supposed to judge him and tell him he needs to sit down. He's doing this, he's doing that.
And I think my thing is, we have this crazy expectation for people like that we don't even have for ourselves. What in the world did you expect the man to do? Like let's talk about the addressing alone. What in the world did you expect him to do? Take 20, 30 minutes out of his Sunday morning schedule to sit down and to sit the church down on a Christmas Eve morning and say, you know what? Let's sit down and dissect this.
Hey, Zion, catch this.
They wanted him to be Jimmy Swaggart.
And catch this, to people who are committed to not believing him anyway.
Right. Because the
And
reality
I'm gonna
is,
say this, but I'm gonna say this, Zion. I respect Jake's more that he still, because I watched the clip just before we came on here. He still preached a solid word too.
Because watch
absolutely.
this.
Solid word.
Had he majored in that, that's bad business.
Yeah.
Let's just talk from a pastor.
But not Kutch, but Tubbs. How many pastors would? How many pastors would get up in the pulpit and actually address that?
And let's be honest.
Hundreds of insecure ones.
Yeah.
Hold on, watch this. But people even in the world don't even take the time. And what's the first post we make on Facebook? I'm not finna take time out of my schedule to I'm over here making money and all of this other stuff. So don't be mad at him because he chose to keep his job. Let's start there, because he chose to keep his job and do exactly what he's commanded to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you have a walk. Hold on. But like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, I'd rather you get on and blatantly tell me, oh, I didn't do it, than sit here and then just stir the pot of offense and just be up and throwing jabs at everybody who threw shade or condescended you for the last week. No, don't sit there and try to be petty. Just say you didn't do it. Now, whether you lied or not, we'll find, time will tell.
And
here's
you didn't do it.
And the thing is, it's not our job. It's not my job or anybody else's job unless you got a law degree, unless you are his lawyer, attorney, unless you are his public relations.
You are a victim that can prove it.
Bingo.
Listen to me. Listen, this is, and I forgot to say this earlier when I asked me, did I believe he did it? The reason why I say I don't believe he did it is because our first viewing of him actually talking about it, it was him and it wasn't a publicist and it wasn't at a press conference.
That's right. Come on. That's good.
Now
that's good. Hold on. Can I offer this another extra second, because we've been throwing it out, and I just want to.
You just got here, so go ahead.
Clear. I want to make this very clear. This is nowhere near, in any way, shape, or form, the same situation as it was with Bishop Long. Right? In any way, shape, or form. Not at all. And I need the people to begin to get that language correct.
Hey, but there's been some goofy people. There's some goofy people who even said, I saw a guy on TikTok, he made a video and compared the fact that there's a video of Bishop Eddie Long where he has on a black suit, a red shirt. He said, oh, Bishop Jakes and Eddie Long had on the same colors. Nigga, this is
all right. It was like similarities. You're missing it. Then we're the dummies that missed it. No. You're making something bigger than what it is.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
No, for real. Because how about this? I would love, you know what's crazy? I would love the same people that are talking. I would love to see them in 1 year take the same magnitude of influence.
Yeah.
See how well it goes.
That's right.
See how well it goes. Give you 1 year with the same influence. Same influence, and see where it goes.
Man. That's right.
And I highly doubt that we're gonna do anything with it. Yep. Hey, that's just me.
Yeah,
I agree.
But I guess people like
this is good. This has been good.
It's been a great conversation. Yeah.
What we got next, Prater?
Listen. Let's clap it up for that.
Get ready.
Yeah, let's clap it up for that. That was a good episode. Let's clap it up for
that. Let me throw a curveball at the audience.
Go ahead.
Jake's one of his classic messages back in the day was behind closed doors. Go watch it. It's all over YouTube. Back to you.
As a matter of fact, he had another one, and it was entitled "The Bone Collector." It's all right. Catch you next week.
Woo. The Bone Collector is nuts.
Maria. I got the.
Hey, Zion, with that, let me show you this clip.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing?
I ain't gonna hold you. That road was cold blooded. But anyway.
Hey, that road
is cold blooded.
Cold-blooded, dog.
Man, but while we're here, I just want to say I want to appreciate all the fellas being on here. Listen, I want to appreciate our supporters, people that are subscribing, people that are following us. Yes, Myron, tell them subscribe, like, comment, share this.
Especially our Kojic. Especially.
That's right. Especially the Church of God in Christ.
The Grando. The Grando Church of God in Christ.
It is on the
serious tip. You can't just be born in. You can't just join in. You got to be born in.
That's right.
No, on a serious tip.
I didn't grow up Kojic, so I don't know any of y'all slogans. I just want y'all to get right with Jesus. Praise God. Amen.
This is stupid. Let me say this. I want to give a shout out to one of the greatest superintendents in Cincinnati, Superintendent Hudson. God bless you, sir. We love you. I want to also say this is a great show. Listen, I love all my fellas. I thank God for you being on here. Listen, we love you.
Come on, tell Maria I said what's up.
Let me say this.
Maria Tubbs said, "Hey,
hey, Walt, can you tell her to fix me something when I'm on my way?"
Zion said he wants some empanadas.
All right, listen. As I always say, all serious. Like I always say, we love you, we care about you, and God loves you even more. See you next time. Peace out.
Peace.